Hello, I'm Maria Giraudo. Everyone calls me Pilu. I'm a fifth generation farmer in my family in Santa Fe province in the middle of my country, Argentina. I am agronomist, also advisor, and I love my work because I involve in trying to solve the most important human being demands, not only in my country, but also all around the world. And for this challenge, I definitely like the type of leadership that work with diversity, even though when they don't share opinions, ideas, but with the conviction that is the best way for enrichment. And fundamentally, with this leadership, add talents and better capacities and skills than oneself, because they find in that condition a lot of support. And of course that face to this type of leadership, the most important obstacles is when aren't able to be part of, to share, to find all the value or the benefits about working in group. And I think that I spent my whole life being part of creating networks and working in groups. It's impossible for me to do what I do without others. It will be a very good moment to be part of Catalyst of Change and share with all of you next Tuesday. See you!
Please join our next seminar in the Catalyst of Change series on May 21st.
Welcome to the Catalyst of Change Women Leaders in Science seminar series. There is interpretation available in Spanish, French, and Hindi. To access the interpretation, you choose the language of your preference by clicking the translation button at the base of your Zoom screen. This seminar will be recorded and made available on the CIMIT YouTube channel. We invite you to follow us in LinkedIn, YouTube, and social media using the hashtag Women in Science for the Catalyst of Change Women Leaders in Science seminar series. We invite you to submit your questions and comments on Slido to be addressed in the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. We will be hearing today from a family farmer and entrepreneur, Maria Beatriz Giraudo, who goes by Pilu, who is Vice President of INTA Argentina. Pilu Giraudo, we have a conversation with Carolina Rivera, who is a wheat physiologist at CIMIT that co-leaders efforts in pre-breeding for physiological traits and their transfer to main wheat breeding pipelines. Now, I would like to welcome Brian Gobards, Director General of CIMIT, to officially open the event and introduce our distinguished speaker, Pilu Giraudo. Dr. Gobards, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. And welcome once again to our Catalyst of Change Women Leaders in Science webinar. At CIMIT, we decided to launch this webinar style which combines TED Talks with the fireside chat. And also today, once again, we have two great women leaders that will be showing and telling us about their journey. We want to achieve the broader representation of gender in science, and we need to provide, therefore, more opportunities to hear from women leaders about their life journeys, their lessons, and their insights. Therefore, we highlight women that are leaders in all sorts of capacities, in their family, in their community, in their governments, in their institutions. And today we're honored to have Maria Beatriz Giraudo, or better known as Pilu Giraudo, as our already 20th Catalyst of Change speaker. She is the Vice President of the INTA Argentina. She's an agriculture engineer by profession, farmer, and advisor. She has a postgraduate degree in senior management in agribusiness and food from the School of Agriculture of the University of Buenos Aires. Giraudo is also, importantly, a mom and fifth-generation farmer who, with her family, utilizes a no-till conservation agriculture system to grow soy, wheat, barley, corn, and sorghum, as well as livestock in Santa Fe, Argentina. She's a trained agriculture engineer, and she's the honorary president of AAPRESIT, the first Argentinian no-till farmers association, and a member of the Global Farmer Network Advisory Committee. She's actively involved in several national and international NGOs. She's focused on sustainable agriculture and advocacy around conservation agriculture. During her advocacy efforts, she actually has a weekly radio program and hosts there in that program rural women who share their stories from their farms and lives, and that every Saturday morning. Pilu worked for 2 years in support of the sustainable development policies for the Ministry of Agro-Industry in Argentina, and in 2016 was recognized as the Global Farmer Network Keckler Award recipient in the World Food Prize in Iowa, USA. I know that Pilu is a true inspiring speaker, and I'm sure you will enjoy her life journey and her life story as much as I've done in the many conversations we have had. Pilu, over to you as a true catalyst of change.
Wow. You, I feel with a lot of commitment now. I have to show what you said. But thank you very much. I admire you, your work, your team, and I am very, very grateful for this invitation because I am sure that we have a lot of opportunities when we have the possibility to exchange, to know each other, to perhaps to, I don't know how. Sorry, I have a lot of questions here. When you have the opportunity to exchange with others, to listen to others, when you have the opportunity to learn from others. And so thank you again, and thank you also Renata, Isabel, Daniela, and all your team that they are very patient with me. I am very, very bad answering emails, so thank you very much. Well, as you told, I am a fifth generation farmer in my family. You know, when I was to more or less 15, 16, and I was began thinking about my career, and well, my elder sister chose to follow the path of my dad. He's a notary, also a farmer, of course. And so I am the second one in the middle of 3 daughters. And so in that moment, more than 40 years ago, wow, I decided to, I was thinking that one should follow the agribusiness. So I decided to study agronomy. And that was the very beginning. I used to live with passion every day in my life, but it was the beginning of my passion around my profession and my lifestyle. And in that moment, when I began studying agronomy, I was also beginning a huge revolution here in my country around the no-till farming, because a group of farmers were concerned about the soils, were concerned about how to be more efficient with the use of water. So they decided, they were inspired by nature, so they found in no-till farming a great tool to begin definitely change in agriculture, thinking that the production, caring environment, and people, promoting social development was possible all at the same time. And the no-till farmer was the pillar of this conviction. And so one of the farmers were my dad. So I had the privilege to be at the beginning of this revolution with other students and other young farmers at that moment. And my father also asked us in the family to have an institutional participation. And so I did. I did that my whole life till today. And at that moment, they give us the opportunity to be the youth in APRESID, because they founded APRESID, the Argentinian No-Till Farmer Association. And the foundation was with the vision to share experiences, not only successes, also mistakes, in order to help farmers. And farmers, we trust in farmers first of all. So the farmer to farmer technology transfer is easier. And so that was the real definition to found APRESID in that moment. And of course, we need as farmers the knowledge of scientists and technicians in order to validate the proposal. I don't know if I was living in that moment with the how important was that revolution. But today, when I take the opportunity to look through all these years, I am proud and grateful to be part of this movement and revolution. I will insist with the revolution, because stop a way to make agriculture where every year new generations receive natural resources with soils in the center of the situation in worse conditions than the year before, And so now I can have the dimension of all this revolution, that of course we work with the nature, so it is an evolution. We don't have recipes. We are studying and researching and working all the time for better tools, and thinking in a holistic through a holistic point of view, with thinking about how to enrich the system. And so in this opportunity, I have I begin studying agronomy. After that, I was part of this institution. I follow different places in the institutions. And in 2014, I was the first women president at the institution, and the first woman, in the presidency in an agribusiness institution in my country. That was very disappointed for us, because we were very happy, because all the reference of the no-till farming in my country and the no-till, the APRESID founders were at the top level of the situation, were real reference, not only in my country, also regionally and globally. And they decided to ask us that they were around 40, 45 years old at that moment, to take the lead, to lead the organization. And for us, for the team that we assumed that challenge, was the most important thing, because most of the people want to be at the institutions forever, and it's very difficult to change the people in the institutions. But the surprise in my country and in another countries were that I was a woman, and so till that moment, because I am part of a family farmer. I was born in a very little town in Santa Fe province in the middle of the country. I lived all the time linked to the farm with with different women. Of course, my grandmother, my mom, a lot of women working in the farm, in different farms, or with different roles around the farm. So I realized that was the very first moment that captured my attention. Why the thinking about women? I apologize because of this confession, but it was the real situation in my life. And when I finished my mandate in APRESID for 2 years, the government in my country, the agribusiness ministry, asked me to be part of his team. And so I have the opportunity to lead the G20 presidency of my country in 2018. And so I was invited to be part of the Women 20 discussion, and of course, they go on, they continue discussing about labor, digital, and finance situation around women. But Argentina proposed the rural development with the rural women as icon, because we are more than 25% of the population, the global population. We are involving more than 40% of the agricultural activities. So I met a lot of women all around the world working for this proposal. And with my other colleagues here in my country, decided to create the Rural Women Network, because always in the discussions, is this difficult to propose that we are all rural women, and we are with different roles, with different scales, different conditions. But if we are together, we have best and better opportunities for all of us, and also for each of us. And that was what happened with this creation. Since the very first moment, we bought the web mujeresrurales.com, because we began working in Argentina, but we dreamed to be a global proposal, because it's difficult to find this vision with all the different situation, the diversity under the same umbrella, in order to work in better opportunities for everyone. We also propose to, one of our value is mixidad. It is a word that we love, because it means and allow us to think about how is the world with the different genders, and how rich is that vision and that opportunity. And it is another thing that we really promote from the Rural Women Network. And after that, or every time, I was always following my father's mandate. I was always participating in different organizations and different institutions, trying to work from the production, from science, from the towns and the cities, trying to be part of the policy decisions, helping policymakers, being part of the teams of policymakers, trying to advocate for the real needs in the territory. As Bram told you, I joined the Global Farmer Network in 2015. And of course, I am part of the network with more than 250 farmers from different parts of the world, with different productions, with different problems, and with different ideas, but we are together. And if you ask me which is my definition is passion and together. I think that the participation in different instances is very helpful in order to show yourself the diversity, because if you don't have the opportunity to participate with others, to listen to others, to learn from others, it's impossible to have the real dimension of the different situations, the different needs, the different opportunities. And being part of an organization, of teamwork, or another proposal, it is about not only the power of networks, the collaborative networks, it's also about the empowerment that you have yourself for your life, for your opportunities, for your decisions. And I think that all this situation, participating with a real focus, sharing vision with real objectives to achieve, and with the conviction that what you want to propose, what you want to be part of, is definitely the key of this proposal that CIMIT is asking for us, or is inviting us to being catalysts of change. But for being catalysts of change, we need to be part of with another. And to be part of with another, we have to be prepared. We don't. It is a mistake to want to be part of something without skills, without knowledge, without preparation, because you have to be part of, for a teamwork or for a proposal, with convictions, with real arguments. And of course, I will really defend and advocate each day of my life for science and evidence-based. And of course, to have the voice of farmers at the center of the discussion, because we are whom we are in the territory. And I want to go again for this privilege that I have today to be the Vice President of INTA, the National Agriculture Research in my country, not only working in Argentina, also in the region and globally, and with, again, the opportunity to try to have to build real networks in order to promote this catalyst of change. And of course, I am a woman and I want to promote women in science. I want to promote the role of women in different discussions and how complementary we are thinking from the perspective of genders. So I only want to tell you to begin having a dialogue. My favorite word, it is together. It is impossible to do alone. It is together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Pilu. Can you see me?
Yes. Hi, Carolina.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. And while I introduce myself, hi, everyone. I'm Carolina Rivera. I'm a proud member of the CIMIT's Women in Crop Science. And first of all, Pilu, it's a pleasure to have you at this Catalyst of Change session and get the chance to interview you. Thank you for sharing your success story. You are such a strong positive influence in sustainable farming and policymaking in Argentina. And I'm sure that all of these examples that you gave us can be duplicated or replicated in other countries, in other communities, and probably have at least some of the success you had in the past. Thank you for highlighting at the end of your talk the importance and how key is to work in networks along with other people, but in reality, like not just to say, yeah, I have some collaborators there and there, but you really work with people by knowing and addressing the real needs that teams can have. So really, really happy to hear that your favorite word is together, because that's how can we achieve really changes. Well, my first question is, maybe you mentioned some of this in your talk, but I would like to emphasize this for other women in the agri world to help us get motivated ourselves as well. So what can you say that motivate you the most to walk this extra mile to become a strong advocate of sustainable farming, preservation of natural resources, support women in rural communities, but also take such important roles as the honorary president, a president or a member of the Global Farmer Network Advisory Committee? I mean, they're not easy roles. It's not like, I'll do this in the weekends, or I'll just take it as a hobby. You know, it's such important roles and responsibilities. So what took you to take those decisions and not just think about farming and revenues and like the regular path that probably other farmers would take?
Well, I think that perhaps for me, being close to my father with other farmers, thinking of this challenge from very early in my life, you know, it was like, I don't know how can I say, sello in English. It was marking I have that conviction in my blood, you know, and it is impossible for me to work in another way. And mostly because, you know, thinking about your question around rural women, you know, women, we are in the territory. We are in touch with reality. We are in touch with not only with our families, with the people that we must care, but also around the business. Most of the time, you can see that the men are the ones that they are speaking and they are having the discussion. But if you really keep attention at the situation, the most important role is around women. It's incredible, but it's everywhere in all the countries, in every situation, vulnerable situation, better situation, different conditions, you know. And that is it's a real advantage, because we were thinking that we are more than 25% of the population, the global population, and we are linked to food, and we are linked to environment care. So if we work with this conviction in order to have the best tools to promote the natural resource care with best practices to have more production, the best market access, the different opportunities, of course, always being part of the network, being part with others in order to have a better knowledge, in order to have a better access, in order to learn more and faster. But when you have the opportunity to know how to work caring, it is impossible that you stop that option. And I think that perhaps nowadays we have a huge challenge in order to talk with urban people, with most of the people that they are not involved in agribusiness, has a lot of doubts, and sometimes they are scared about different tools that we use. We use in a natural way because we know that them. But most of the people and consumers want more information. It is true. I'm sorry because of the man here is not against you, but it's a real statistics that people trust more in women than men. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But it is an opportunity. It is an opportunity for everyone. So I am trying because I told you I'm passionate about my work and all that these topics. So I speak a lot. Sorry, but
All right, that's what we want.
trying to follow your question, Carolina. And first of all, I admire you. You are working in wheat, please, one of the basics of our food security, and. In this point, it is not only to work during the weekend, it's not only to work a day in a week. No, it is about choosing a lifestyle, Perhaps this is my passion and this is my point of view about this, but each of us can find a different topic. And I always used to say, and most to my sons, I have two sons, 29 and 30 years old, and I used to tell you from they were born, you should find your passion in life. And I don't think that we can find a better passion than being involved with others around food security, caring environment care, because we are involved in the most important human being demands, and we can be part of the solution or trying to be part of the solution, not only for current generations, also for future.
Thank you, Pilu. And I can relate to a lot of, or if not everything that you're saying, especially with this thought of thinking ahead, right? Not just, oh, I'm living another 20 years or 10 years or whatever you have left. It's just thinking more. What are we leaving to our future generations? To what are we doing to preserve what we have? I mean, exploit it in a sustainable way that we can use our just our share, but leave the rest or leave a lot to the future generations. And I was thinking when you were talking about your early life in the agri world, and since you are a farmer, but also in your later positions, what were your biggest concerns and challenges when it comes to empower women in rural communities, especially to influence policymaking, to advocate for the real needs, not just the general needs that can be there? So if you think about yourself a couple of decades ago, how could have someone help you rise in your career? How could someone have mentor you or influence in your early days?
Mm, I will use another time, or I will use privilege again, because I was very lucky to be near very generous people, very generous, simple people without a title, but with a lot of experience, and also very close to generous people with the top level of skills, But the common condition was to be generous, and it is perhaps for most of the people, it is a not important point of view, because what about generosity? What is that? We are talking about science. We are talking about food security. We are talking about how to respond to current and future demands, and we are talking about how to be with the similar opportunities, women and men all around the world, all the genders. And when you are asking about my real life, I had to recognize that the common situation was generosity. And that's why today I am 54 years old. I am really highlight the conviction of participation with others, and learning from others. But you can also, and you also have the opportunity also to propose, to give your story, your knowledge, your experience. And I love the opportunity to have not only a mentor, also to be a mentee. And that's way for feedback, and perhaps you have a mentor that is a real referent, and you are very small near that referent. But when you begin to change, you realize that you have a lot to tell also and to give. I think that we are talking about collaborative networks. We are talking about very big challenges, and not only very big challenges, also changing challenges. And so when I think about the obstacles of this situation, is when the egos appears,
Mhm.
and the egos, they are very harmful painful for the very first person is the person that suffers from ego, because
Mhm.
when a person have a huge ego, have a lot of restrictions, because
Yeah, you
it's
stop
not.
enjoying what you're doing.
Yes, of course, and he's not able, or she's not able to be part of a group, of a network. But well, it is still a challenge to change that situation. And you can imagine when you are part of the high level decision is well, but I don't want to describe that situation, because you can find people with that condition everywhere. And you don't have to be angry with that situation. It have to be an incentive to work to change that situation, because you are all you can also be able to be catalyst of change from that point, to try to change the mindset about being alone, being yourself, having your own ideas for yourself, and helping the people to be part with another, to see their ideas or their proposal growing, growing, and growing. And that is another real challenge, and that is another condition that women has in a natural way.
Thank you, Pilu. And so following with the other question, what would be the piece of advice that you will pick from all of this to give to women who lack confidence or to take leadership roles? Because sometimes we are told we can do it, yes, you can, but when it comes to take leadership roles, sometimes we feel insecure or not confident. So what would be, if you have to take just one piece of advice, what would be it?
I don't know if I am understanding in a good way your question, but I try and you tell me. But
Yes.
I was announcing just lately in my video. I was in the farm. I was trying to look for which were the better places to plant our wheat this winter, Carolina, in Argentina. When I did the video, and I think that the problem and the opportunity that we have is that I love the style of leadership that finds security having the best team, you know, and that feeling is achieved for that style of leadership when in the team, the people that are in the team has better skills, best capacities. They are with more talents than ourselves, himself, you know. And I think that this is the best way to feel that you have a strong back because you have the best in your team, and perhaps you have to learn a lot from them, but you have the challenge to lead them, and you have to have your opportunity to feel also not only the things that you are convinced and you want to do and you are focusing. You have also the opportunity to show your needs and to show the things that makes you feel insecure, you know. We don't have to be afraid of that because that is the most important thing to be part of, you know. Perhaps you are thinking, oh, I am bored, you know.
No,
see,
no, no.
listen
Actually,
to
I that's a very, very good. Oh, sorry.
but no, it's okay. Thank you. It is about that. It is about being part of, and sometimes you are, in spite of being the leader, you have I don't know, fragile condition. Can I say fragile? I don't know. Fragile.
Yeah, fragile. Yeah.
Fragile, a fragile condition, and your team supports you, and you are the leader, and there is no problem about that, because that is a very good way to show the team that being a leader is not about being the strongest person all around the world. No, it's being a human that wants to lead, have to lead, decide to lead, choose to lead, but you lead a team. And that is the power and against the empowerment that you need to be a leader. And for me, that is amazing, amazing. I love that option and that situation to be in a best condition and a worse condition, but you have a team, so you can go through and be the best because you are together.
Oh, thank you, Pilar. I think that's one of the best advice regarding leadership, because sometimes we think, oh, you're the leader, you have to do it all. And sometimes because of our background or our training or our childhood or whatever, we think, oh, I have to do it all, I have to be everywhere. But the reality is you have a team, as you said, and each member of the team has their own skills, and we have to trust them, we have to delegate, so thank you very much. I was really interested in this subject of soil preservation and natural resource preservation, and how these the Argentinian farmers were more the example that you gave us, that they were more interested or equally probably interested in this matter. So what do you think will be Argentinians' influence in this matter globally? If you think about that example and probably future projects.
Thank you very much for this question. You know, as I told you, this concern began in a very anticipated moment, because this concern from farmers in Argentina began 40 years ago. And that is impressive, you know, because today we are aligned with the most important global agendas, but we have the experience of 40 years. And of course, it's not about successes, no. We have a lot of mistakes to show in order to prevent that others have the same mistakes, no. And that is an important role also that we have. But we have a lot to share with others countries, and we have a lot to improve inside my country and with others. The most important thing to share with others is that farmers, we trust in farmers first, you know, and the power of farmer to farmer technology transfer is crucial, you know, because it's the first door to open. After that, we are involved in the most important human being demands, not as we were talking, as we were exchanging, not only for today, also for the future. And we need science, so we need technicians, we need researchers, we need to be close, because today science and technology change very, very quickly, and if we aren't working in a close way, it is difficult to win at this acceleration. And the other point is that we need to participate in the policy making decisions, you know, because it is very difficult. Like we have a long story in my country around how a farmer organization with an research institution like INTA and other research institutions and the College of Agronomists and the university and all, we are working to have the best tools for sustainable production systems, and we have the worst policies, or we are policies against this proposal, you know. So it is crucial to work all together, and we are going again to participation, because if you are a farmer, if you are a technician, if you are a scientist, you should think about perhaps maybe I can go through to the government or to have an experience as policymaker, perhaps 2 years, not more, but to show and to have the voice of the real needs. And
Yeah.
that is happening in my country because we have a long story with policies against agriculture. It is difficult to understand, but in this kind of countries that we have a very important role as an agri-food country, we didn't have the right policies. So since some years ago, we are trying to be part of the government for a period, but trying to give this real need. And in the same way, trying to work in and to create networks, for example, CIMIT, for example, another research institute, another farmer organizations all around the world, through the Global Farmer Organization, through the Global Farmer Organization network, with the support of different companies, but always trying to show how this system show us a real solution for improve our soils. I will tell you a summary about that, but a real tools for soil caring and soil health and all the system, but we need to work with others, because we have to adaptate this model and these systems to the different situations around the world. And it is not a trouble, it is again a very important opportunity, and a very important opportunity that to show that most of the time bureaucracy or policymakers or the people in the government, they are deciding without the real knowledge of the real needs in the territory. And that's why we have to deepen these opportunities. In agribusiness, we are a real network, not only inside our countries, also in the region and globally. So it's a good opportunity. Only to highlight the most important result about this revolution during the 40 years, first of all, more confidence because farmers began this revolution. Better confidence because technicians and scientists validate this revolution, this option. Networks to think about this is a system, and the pillar and the basis is no-till farming, because it gives us the opportunity to improve the soil's condition, not only physical and chemical, also biological conditions, and they allow you to be more efficient with the use of water and to have a better nutrient cycle, and to have less emissions, and to have the opportunity to improve your carbon capture. You improve your yields, but all this real situation and the real result is about to adaptate the system in the different not only ecoregions, also the different situation with the different countries and with the different political and geopolitical decisions in each country. And it is impossible to do, again, it is impossible to do alone.
Yeah.
It is impossible for a PRESID to do alone as an organization farmer. It is impossible for INTA to do alone as a research institute. It is impossible for the industry in Argentina to sell alone. And it is a real opportunity to do together. And if we have the opportunity to make this to create this network, not only in a national way, also in a regional way, as Latin America, we have a lot to do inside our region, and to work with different parts of the world.
Thank you, Pilu. I love how you see this as an opportunity, not a problem, and how important it is to work in networks and the farmers are the pillars, right? The main pillars, because they know the real needs and how important it is to create these channels so the farmers can convey the information and reach policy making processes. I would like to ask you a lot more questions, but we are close to 9 a.m. So I think Isabel told me there are a couple of questions from the audience. So yeah, we're happy to.
Yeah, thank you,
hear those.
Carolina, for having this very rich and enlightening conversation with Pilu Giraudo. So yeah, we have one question and two questions here. So what are some of the memorable lessons you have learned from various mentors in your professional journey? Maybe you can mention some of them.
Yes, thank you, Isabel. I love the question because I would like to say that with this women movement all around the world, most of the time we try to be, or sometimes we try to be part of a proposal because there are a lot of men and you want to have women there. And it is not about that. No. The best lesson for me to share with you is to be part as a woman in a group with men, with another women, with everyone. You have to be prepared. You have to have the capacity, the skills. So the best lesson for me is to recognize what you want to do, what you want to be, so you decide and design your career to achieve that point. So after that, not only you are able to be part of, you will be called to be part of, and everyone will want to have you in their teams, you know. But this is, for me, the most important lesson, thinking about the women and all about the gender perspective.
Thank you, Pilu. Any final comment that you would like to address before we close the event?
Yes, of course. I will do that from the a woman perspective, a mom perspective, a woman that always dream to have her own family, but always dream to have her profession and her work and her different roles, because I love to have different roles and to learn from different perspective, and I want to be in all the things that is difficult for me to say no, because I love to do that. But the point is that I want to share with you is that it is possible. It is possible to have a family. It is possible to have your child, or no. I'm thinking and I'm talking from my perspective, that I love to have my family, my kids. Now they are adults, of course, but it is possible. It is all about organization. It is all about having, again, a team, because you have to trust with another people, with the school, with someone that helps you when you don't have time to be because you are working, and different situations. But this is possible to have your life that you dream. It is about how you can design your own life. And in that point, I would like to tell you, my real dream about women and the gender perspective is not to work to have equity. equality. I would like to, I dream to achieve the moment that each woman has the opportunity to choose what she wants to do. Perhaps she wants to do nothing, but she decided. And perhaps she wants to do a lot, but it's her decision. I really dream with this moment, with that moment, and I'm sure that we will achieve that because we are working and we are thinking together. That's why I really tell you thank you very much for this opportunity. And I would like to give my phone number. I'm better in WhatsApp than in email. Renata can tell you about that. I'm sorry. But I really enjoy to being in touch with everyone, and I have a deep admiration for Simit, Bram, and all of you, your team, and all this audience. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Pilu. On behalf of Brian Goberts, Director General of CIMIT, we thank you so much for sharing with us your rich experience as an agronomist and leader farmer, raising the importance of family and social network, the importance of working together, the importance of education, capacity building, and science development to empower women and society to achieve impact. Thank you for being a successful leader and an inspiration for all. Thank you so much for being here today and for your valuable time. Talking about doing things together, we would like to acknowledge teamwork for the organization of this Catalyst of Change Women Leaders in Science series. And we would like to share with you all a recap of all of the Catalyst of Change behind the scenes. Thank you.
Please join our next seminar in the Catalyst of Change series